In your Instagram bio, it says that you'd be hovering over the guac.
If I don't have a friend at the party, I can always count on guacamole to be my friend.
If I don't have a friend at the party, I'm not at that party. I'm not going to go.
Hi, Ed. Hi, Randall. I'm so excited to be talking to you today and excited to be talking about one of my favorite shows, True Story.
So are we, if I can speak for you, Ed.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone has a story.
You're going to fall right out of your seat.
But some stories are so incredible, they deserve to be immortalized on television.
What genre would you call this story?
Horror mystery.
Action.
Inspirational.
Stories so amazing.
It wasn't allergic reaction. They're very poisonous.
So unbelievable.
You snuck in the Super Bowl.
All the way to the bus. Bus guy opens the door. Bradshaw is right in front of me. You guys are badass. That was the best game I ever seen.
Wait, who was that? I think that was the coach's nephew. Maybe.
And that's the end of my story.
That's my story, brothers.
That's the story, guys.
You did it!
You two have been on my wish list of people to interview and talk to for a long time now. Will you tell me about the moment you figured out, hey, I might be good at this music thing?
Well, I was doing music stuff like at church and with my family and my school, like from very early on. I think I started piano lessons at about age 8. I got my first guitar at 13. I got my first banjo at 17. And I just play all of them all the time. And I sing way too much. As anyone who's watched my body of work, I sing too much. Andy Bernard sang too much. I just kind of put it in everything. And it mostly gets an eye roll, but that's okay because I love it.
Not from me. You will never get an eye roll from me. And
all right.
Randall, okay, I have to talk to you about your beats and rhymes. I need a dictionary when I hear your music. You rhyme the word pugilist. Tell me about that process.
Look, I'm no musician. I'm definitely no musician like Ed. But there was a period out of college when I was in a band. And it was a band just like the one in Always Be My Maybe. It was like a live hip hop kind of jazz kind of band, and gained a small following in LA. And I don't know, I just kind of loved it. I just something about rhyming words is just fun to me. It's like a great like kind of brain exercise, you know. It's such a nerdy way to go about it, but it's just fun. It's just something I've always had fun with.
A banjo hip hop mashup.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I am so ready to see that collaboration happen. Full disclosure, I'm a huge Office fan. When Randall played Fake Jim, and of course you were Andy Bernard, is that how you guys met?
No, we didn't.
This is a great mystery, actually.
Yeah.
We've been asked this a lot, and we can't quite trace down the DNA of our friendship, but it's back there somewhere. I think it predates the Office appearance.
Yeah. Because I don't believe he was on. I only did one scene on The Office, and Ed wasn't there that day. But yeah, we've known each other for a long time.
And so it's just like it always came to be. Like you guys are just born friends.
It's a funny thing. I'll like. Friendships in Hollywood are kind of funny because a lot of times you'll meet someone for the first time, but you've seen them on TV or in the movies so much that they feel so familiar to you. And so that can be good and bad. I mean, it kind of makes us like, I think it makes a lot of people in the public eye feel very familiar with each other in a nice way, like kind of in a small town way. But it does also make it kind of hard to pinpoint like, oh, when did we meet?
Yeah.
Because we've kind of been friends or familiar with each other for a very long time. So
well, give me the true story, if you will. How did you two come up with the concept of this show?
Well, we didn't. Is the short answer. The show existed in Australia. It was created by these two wonderful comedians there, Hamish and Andy, who are very well known in Australia. They're radio personalities. They're great presenters and hosts of all kinds of things. And they created this show and they did an incredible job. They did a ton of kind of concept testing and basically did all the hard work and put out a great show, which then they decided to bring stateside, and we're the ones lucky enough to be the kind of torchbearers into the American version.
How did they get on your radar?
Well, Ed met them and eventually reached out to me to join him on this journey. And I was like, oh my gosh, sounds like the greatest gig ever. I just sit down with my friend and we listen to stories, amazing stories from really like incredible people.
What if you guys tried being me for a day?
They're like, oh, like real smart and weird?
No, I was thinking more so.
I am blown away. You are an incredible person.
But yeah, it was just something I couldn't turn down. It's just like, it's so fun. And it was like the best gig ever.
So my family are huge fans, especially my 12-year-old son. He laughs from his belly every single episode. These stories are so great. And it's like these people are experiencing these amazing things for the first time. So I want to know from you, what is something that you wish you could experience for the first time again?
Well, I think we all have the same answer. No. Let's see. Oh, you know what I did yesterday with one of my kids and my nieces and nephews? We did the roller coaster on the Santa Monica Pier. And it reminded me like how fun these things are. I mean, that's a tiny roller coaster. But I remember as a kid just loving huge roller coasters and like being obsessed with like the biggest, most crazy roller coasters. I can't do that anymore. Like my body can't handle roller coasters. I like get nauseous and dizzy. But I wish I could go back to that time.
Yeah, I think when you have kids, like you see the world through their eyes, and then you kind of remember the magic of like experience. Like I think for me, the first time I saw my daughter experiencing the rain, she was so happy and so excited and just ran in it and just like twirled in it. And it was like, oh my gosh, I would love to experience that for the very first time again.
Wow.
That's kind of joy. Yeah.
Can I change my answer?
Yeah, go for it. What would you change it to?
The experience of snowfall.
Oh, that actually brings up something funny too. Do you guys watch some of your performances and like, oh, I wish I could change something? Is there anything that, or not even your performances, anything you wish you could do differently?
All the time. I mean, we all make mistakes in life, right? I'm not the only one. So there's plenty of things I wish I had done or said differently at all kinds of big and small moments in my life. But I think from an acting standpoint, I try not to judge myself too harshly with the acting because it's so easy to just pick yourself apart if you're watching like an old movie or TV appearance or something. The hardest thing for me, I think, is the like late night talk show interviews. Those are the ones that I watch later, and I'm like, oh, why did I say that? I had this whole joke and I messed it up or whatever. Those are always.
Yeah, that is so true, Ed. That is so true. And the fact that those get put online and they're just there, you're like, oh gosh, that was not my best look,
Right. Once in a while you nail it and you're like, oh yes, oh I got it, I'm back. It's always, even if it's really good, I feel like we always just pick it apart.
Yeah. Sure.
You guys are like explaining what I'm going through right now. I'm like, oh my God, maybe I shouldn't ask that question. Maybe I should have done here.
Rose, you're nailing it.
Yeah, you're doing great, Rose.
Like, have you ever gotten starstruck with anybody before?
Every time I hang out with Randall, I can't.
Yeah.
It's like stuttering.
He's just shaking and he's just like so nervous.
So and sweating, like deep, like body sweats. I can't.
Well, Ed, if I met you in person at a party, I know I'd probably be nervous like I am now, but I know we would get along because in your Instagram bio, it says that you'd be hovering over the guac. Is there a deeper meaning behind that?
No. No, the meaning of that is that I love guacamole and I have a sort of mild social anxiety. So what I usually do is just post up next to the guacamole and then I can be happy eating guacamole and then I have like kind of a home base at a party. If there's no guacamole at a party, I am screwed.
I love your answer to that question because that's exactly what I thought. And like, I'm going to ask him this because I have a similar feeling. Plus, if I don't know somebody at the party, if I don't know who's like through the party and I'm just there, I'm going to stick around and eat with, whatever I brought because I don't know if I can trust them.
If you don't have a friend at the party, for me, I can always count on guacamole to be my friend.
That's accurate. That's accurate. Randall, what's your guacamole? Your guacamole.
Well, if I don't have a friend at the party, I'm not at that party. I'm not going to go. I'm going to be so anxious and so like miserable that I'm not going. And if I have a friend at the party, I'm probably not going to go also because it's just one friend. And that's, that friend's going to be mingling.
But what if it's like a function, like a premiere or something you have to go to?
Then I'll like fight through it. I'll fight through it. And as soon as I can go home, I'll go home. But if I have multiple friends at the party, I got a bunch of guacamole everywhere. Yeah. And that'll be fine.
Would you say if you had to fight somebody at a party that you would be a pugilist?
Only if you fight with your fists backwards.
Yes.
This is how pugilists fight.
That's right.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a great rest of your day. Air hugs.
Of course. Thank you, Rose. Great to meet you.
Thank you, Rose.
Everyone has a story.
You're going to fall right out of your seat.
But some stories are so incredible, they deserve to be immortalized on television.
What genre would you call this story?
Horror mystery.
Action.
Inspirational.
Join Ed Helms and Randall Park
Where and when does this story begin?
In Nebraska.
Alexandria, Virginia.
as they hear ordinary people
How's it going, y'all?
tell extraordinary true stories.
They made a typo, obviously. And I just said, count me in.
Whoa! Wait a minute.
Hold on, I thought you were Dungeons and Dragons guy. I'm telling you.
Then bring them to life with a star-studded cast.
Pretty incredible, huh?
What if you guys tried being me for a day?
They're like, oh, like real smart and weird?
No, I was thinking more so.
I am blown away. You are an incredible person.
Stories so amazing,
It wasn't allergic reaction. They're very poisonous.
so dramatic,
Is he gonna propose to me?
so ridiculous,
Literal projectile vomit.
so unbelievable, they could only be true.
You snuck in the Super Bowl.
And that's the end of my story.
That's my story, brothers.
That's the story, guys.
You did it!